People get so anxious about traveling plant-based. So I wanted to show you guys a 3-weekend bachelorette party where I have packed all of my food and plenty to spare to bring for the girls to take for the weekend. So I am running late as usual, but no, I have to go meet my friend. We are taking her vehicle the rest of the 3 hours up north. So it's 4 hours total. We will be in the car, but it'll be so worth it. We are going to Chetek, Wisconsin. Never been there. We're gonna do boating. We're gonna do some sandbars and hiking, and it should be a really good weekend. Hopefully you guys can take something away from this video and help you in your strategy when you are trying to travel or go on vacation plant-based. So to start, we have a ton of watermelon, lots of salad. I'm hoping to split this into 2 different days. And then I have my seasonings to go on top of my salad along with some flaxseed. Here are my veggies, broccoli, cauliflower, let's see, somewhere in there. There's also zucchini and carrots. That's also what's in this smaller bag. And in this bag, I have all of my fruits that don't need to be refrigerated, as well as my balsamic vinegar for my salad, some water, and some sparkling water, some organic tomatoes, organic apples. I'm bringing lots of bags to bring to the sandbar, some insulated bags to keep things cool with all of these freezer packs. I'm also taking all of this stuff and I'm putting it in my cooler in my car because my boyfriend is not here to take care of this for me, so I'm hoping that this will be a smooth transition, but we'll see how this goes. There might be 2 or 3 trips in the works. We also have some red beans. This is some curried, I don't know, it's an Indian mix with lots of different veggies. Blueberries. Again, you have my seasonings for my salad and my flax. These are just some organic grapes, more grapes. This is some curried sorghum and lentils and mushrooms mixed with some navy beans. This is amber squash and this is buttercup squash. So hopefully that will last me for the weekend with plenty to spare for the others. All right, I'll be on my way, but I'll be sure to video as I go. See you guys in a bit.
Wake up 2 p.m. I don't know where we are. Looks like a cheap motel with our clothes on the floor. I don't know how we ended up here. And we've been flying high. Are we going too far? I got no cash left and I'm losing my job over you. But I don't care about that. But I got you close and kinda hoping that one day we'll get the rhythm of it. Yeah, 'cause no one knows if we're just jumping out the window, try to cling on to it. You got me holding on to something I know it can burn me down, but I don't care about it, 'cause I got you close and kinda hoping that one day we'll get the rhythm of it.
Here is my snazzy Arctic cooler. This thing keeps your food cold for up to 2 weeks. It's like a refrigerator. Very handy for plant-based living. In the invitation, it had explained that the bride was going to provide the majority of our meals throughout the weekend. However, the first night we were there, while everybody was arriving, they planned to meet at this bar and grill on the lake. It was a sort of Mexican restaurant that didn't have anything on the menu that I was particularly interested in. So I was very fortunate that I had brought all my food with me. I hadn't seen the bride in years. We worked together for a number of years when we were younger, but it becomes more and more difficult to stay in touch when you live in different states and you start having children and raising families and all that good stuff. These women are party animals. So I was very fortunate to get a ride back to the cabin rather early in the night and go straight to bed. So it is Saturday morning and it rained all morning. So we are likely not going to go pontooning for a little while. But until we do, we have lots of games to play in the cabin. Some of the girls actually didn't sleep last night, so it should be an interesting day to say the least. I woke up and had my giant salad this morning, and I was very impressed with how few people made fun of me, so that was wonderful. I think more people are intrigued by living a healthy lifestyle amongst a world that does the opposite, and I think they're becoming more and more receptive. So it's definitely a lot more comfortable than it used to be. And I've known these girls since I was like 18, so they're used to my quirky health nut side. But it is gorgeous out here. I'm just getting some exercise in before our day gets going. I guess there was a bear last night. My girlfriend was trying to use the bathroom outdoors and they heard growling from a black bear. So they ran inside the cabin. We are really up north right now. So this is beautiful wilderness, but a little scary, a little dangerous, but that's okay. It keeps things interesting. Oh. All right, I think I'll catch up with you guys when we figure out what we're gonna do when the rain kind of dries up. Hopefully we'll get out to the sandbar at some point. I made the crazy assumption that camping and cabins meant hiking, but we were actually landlocked. So there was a lake on one side and a major highway on the other. So I got to walk back and forth through the campground all morning to get my exercise.
I've been trying my best for a while, trying to please everyone who's around me. I've been putting on my face.
This is what the ladies had prepared for us for breakfast this morning. It's some kind of biscuits and gravy, but this is definitely not in line with my health goals. So I brought all my own food for this particular reason. I had an assumption that northern Wisconsiners were going to be making, the usual hot dogs, hamburgers, that kind of camping style food. So I was very much in my element with my giant cooler full of whole plant-based foods. In this little blue bucket that you can see the bridesmaid passing around are little personal-sized liquor bottles. So even though it was very easy for me to stay on plan with my whole food plant-based diet, it was increasingly difficult to remain sober while hanging out with this crowd. Because like I was mentioning, the rainstorm that we were waiting to pass never did. So we did not end up going out on the boat. So naturally, everybody stayed inside and got really inebriated, and it was very difficult for me to abstain 100%. So to be perfectly transparent, yes, I did have some wine, but I try to stay within my limits, and I make sure to go to bed at a decent hour so I'm not completely worthless the next morning when I come home to my daughter. I was, however, successful in getting people to join me outdoors for a walk in between rainstorms. So that was a little better than being cooped up inside with a fridge full of liquor. I'm not bashing anybody that prefers to drink alcohol now and then. I just prefer not to because it makes me feel incredibly ill. And it's very difficult to get up the next morning and enjoy my workout and hang out with my daughter and do all those wonderful, healthful things that are in my routine when I have a hangover. Here are just some of the super creative treats that the maid of honor was able to find at a local bakery. And the rest of the guests had tacos for lunch. Just the usual cheese, meat, lettuce, tomatoes, tortillas, onions. Can you believe this giant bowl of cheese? This is a true Wisconsin party.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe. Striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance.
Later that evening, the party planner decided all 30 of us would go bar hopping again, since the rain had kept us from all the other festivities. And for dinner, most people just ordered pizza when we were out at the bars, so I was able to eat the rest of my food when I got back to the cabin later that night. I hate eating late at night, but when there's no other option, like in this instance, you just have to kind of go with the flow. But in the morning, I was able to get up and enjoy a nice walk and take in some scenery before heading back 4.5 hours south back to Milwaukee. This was a wonderful vacation. It was so good catching up with old friends. And as inconvenient as my diet is or may seem, I really enjoy and appreciate the ability to eat this way when on vacation and not feeling like total junk the next day and being able to take it all in and enjoy it as opposed to going with the crowd and eating the usual American fare and just feeling like sluggish worthlessness the whole trip. If you guys struggle with maintaining your healthful routine on vacation, let me know in the comments what stresses you out the most and what kind of barriers you've faced in the past, because this is a very challenging problem that we were not designed to solve, so I completely relate. It took me years to get to where I am today, but it was worth every second.